I first learned to crochet, I made every mistake in the book. I used the wrong yarn, the wrong hook, and I completely ignored gauge. But you know what? You don't have to. Here are the 5 things I wish I knew when I first learned to crochet. Hi everyone, Brittany here from Just Be Crafty. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, thank you so much for coming back. So if you are brand new to crochet, or maybe you're just a little bit rusty, I'm so happy you're here. We're going to talk about the 5 common mistakes a lot of beginners make and how to fix it. Maybe you've hit a couple bumps along the way and you feel discouraged. I want to sit here and encourage you to keep going. I promise you, if you persevere through these first kind of awkward stages of learning to crochet, it's going to be so much fun. And if you give up too soon, you could be giving up on a whole world of fun. Mistake number 1, using the wrong yarn. Yarn matters much more than you think, and it's more than just the actual fiber, but the color itself. So mistake number 1 is using a yarn that is too dark. If you use a yarn that is too dark, you're not able to see your stitches. And when you're first learning, it's incredibly important to be able to see your stitches so you learn exactly what you're doing and how you're using your hands and crochet hook to manipulate the yarn and turn it into stitches. If you can't see what you're doing, then you're not going to learn what you're doing. So that's why I suggest using a light, bright colors, because not only are they fun, but they are easy to see exactly what you're doing, and you can really see the stitches that you're creating and just have a bigger and better understanding of what you're doing big picture. Second to color is using a yarn that's too fuzzy. They can be difficult to work with, and it can be difficult to see your actual stitches. So even as an advanced crocheter, when you're using a really fuzzy yarn, and even fuzzier yarn than this one that I'm talking about, you are basically using your hands to find where your stitches go. But if you're just learning to crochet, you don't know what the stitches actually look like, and so you don't know where to actually put your hook to make those stitches. So that's why I highly recommend using a yarn like this one is from Michaels. It's called Loops and Threads Impeccable, and it's a number 4 medium weight yarn. It's a 100% acrylic. This type of yarn, no matter what store you go to, you could find this type of yarn really at any store that crafts are sold. It will be under different brands. This yarn is always affordable, and it comes in so many different colors. So you can typically always find your favorite color, your favorite light bright color in whatever craft yarn this is. I love this yarn because it's very low stakes. It's inexpensive, so if you end up not liking crochet, or maybe you have to go through an entire ball of yarn to figure out how to crochet, there's not a lot of financial loss here. So that's why I suggest using this type of yarn. But of course, when you're starting to crochet, you want to use something that inspires you. So if maybe something else inspires you to keep going, you can use whatever yarn that you want. But I have talked to some beginners who have used too fuzzy of a yarn or just too dark of a yarn to start with, and they gave up really quickly. So that is why I suggest a light, bright, 100% acrylic number 4 medium weight yarn. The second mistake beginners make is using the wrong crochet hook. When I first learned to crochet, I picked myself up a set of plastic hooks. I picked these up because they were inexpensive and I wasn't sure if I was going to like crocheting. But what ended up happening, I ended up liking crochet, but I was in the middle of a project and my crochet hook snapped in half, and then I wasn't able to use it anymore. So that was incredibly frustrating. If I would do it over, I would make sure that I grabbed myself a metal hook that had some sort of handle on it. Metal hooks are just more durable overall. They glide through the yarn a lot better, making it a lot easier to learn to crochet, and the handle just makes it easier to grip, and it really helps control your tension. One of the hardest things to do when you're learning to crochet is maintaining your tension. Anything that can help with your tension is definitely a win. You definitely don't have to splurge on getting a large set. Just get yourself a 5 or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is the perfect size for the type of yarn I just described, the number 4 medium weight acrylic yarn. That is the perfect size hook for that yarn. And just get yourself one, don't get a whole set. Start from there. And if you don't want to spend the money on a hook with a handle, at least get a hook that is completely metal. So just skip the plastic acrylic hooks and go for a metal hook, and it's just way more durable. It's not going to be as comfortable to hold for your hands as one with the handles, but at least this is so much better than a plastic hook. The third biggest mistake, which I did for years and I see a lot of newbie crocheters doing, is skipping gauge or just ignoring it altogether. So for example, so you have a frame of reference, if you've never seen one before, this is a gauge swatch. And all gauge is the tension of your stitches. So you can measure your gauge taking a straight edge ruler and measuring how many stitches and how many rows fit inside of a certain measurement. So normally, like for like a garment or something like that, something that is nice and large, it will give a measurement by 4 inches. So it will say a certain amount of stitches fits into 4 inches, as well as a certain amount of rows fits into 4 inches. So what you do is you follow the patterns instructions and make a gauge swatch. You want to make a gauge swatch that is much larger than 4 inches, just like this, so you can get the most accurate read. The bigger the gauge swatch, the more accurate your gauge reading. So if you would make a gauge swatch that is only 4 by 4 inches, you're not going to get the most accurate reading because the stitches on either end of the 4 inches or the top and the bottom, they're going to kind of be manipulated a little bit just because that's the edge of your little crochet piece. So you definitely want to be able to get a nice measurement that fits inside of a larger swatch. So like I said before, gauge is usually listed in a 4 by 4 inch measurement, but if it's not, maybe you're making a granny square or some sort of amigurumi pattern where you're using tighter stitches or it's just worked in the round. In that case, a lot of times for a granny square, it'll say 5 rounds of a granny square equals a certain amount of inches, or in an amigurumi instance, when you're working in the round with small tight stitches, it might say a flat circle of 4 rounds of single crochet equals 2 inches, or whatever that might be. That's definitely not an accurate number. You would have to look at the pattern. The designer will list this information in the pattern. So why is this information important? All of us crochet at different tensions. So let's say I make a rectangle just like this, or this is kind of more of a square with half double crochets with a 5.5 millimeter hook. So let's say you make the same crochet rectangle with half double crochets using a 5.5 millimeter hook. There are good chances that because you and I are so different and we crochet at different tensions, that you will get a different gauge measurement than I did. That's why it's so important that you measure your gauge. Let's say the pattern says 20 stitches equals 4 inches. Let's say you get 22 stitches in your gauge swatch for 4 inches. That means that you are crocheting tighter than that of the designer. So to help with that, size up your crochet hook. Go to a 6 millimeter hook and then try again and see if you can get gauge. If you get 18 stitches for that 4 inches, that means that you're crocheting looser than that of the designer, than what the designer lists in the pattern. And that means you need to go down a hook size. So just so you can kind of get a real world example of this, this is my crochet mini basket pattern. This is the smallest basket in the pattern. It's a little nesting basket pattern, and this one is the smallest one, following the same exact pattern but just using a different crochet hook size. So this one uses Lily Sugar and Cream 100% cotton yarn. It's a number 4 medium weight yarn, and it calls for a 4 millimeter crochet hook. I used the same exact type of yarn, just a different color, and I used a 5 millimeter crochet hook. And look at the size difference. And not only is the size different, this one is much, much bigger. I used a larger crochet hook, but it's also way more floppy. This one has a lot more structure to it because it used a much smaller hook. But I know in this example, I used a different crochet hook size, but the same exact thing can happen if your crochet gauge is different from that of the patterns. So I just measured gauge on these, and the difference is so I measured the bottom, which consists of 4 rounds, and I got 2.5 inches. So the gauge of this larger basket is 4 rounds equals 2.5 inches. On this smaller basket, 4 rounds of they're both single crochet stitches. 4 rounds of single crochet equals 1 3/4 inches. So that's why it's so important that you actually check your gauge and make sure it matches that of the pattern. So I know that this is kind of a small example, but imagine a sweater. So just being a couple stitches off over the course of an entire sweater can add up to some major inches or centimeters. So not only is it important for garments or things that have to fit, but imagine a granny square blanket, imagine a bag, or even a dishcloth. So you can kind of argue that gauge is important for everything, because not only does it affect your finished size, but it definitely affects the amount of yarn used. So if you look at this and this larger one, it definitely used much more yarn than this smaller one. So not only does it affect the finished size of your object, it also affects how much yarn you use. So if a pattern tells you it uses up a certain amount of yarn and your gauge is way off, you could either end up with way too much yarn, or worst case scenario, not enough. The fourth biggest mistake that I tend to see, and one that I made when I was first learning too, was worrying about my crochet speed. I feel like definitely in today's climate, everything is just so instant, and crocheting is just not that. It's a very slow process, but you have to look at it as an opportunity to sit and just slow down, and understanding that when you first start out, you're not going to be fast. I've been crocheting for over a decade, and I still wouldn't consider myself a fast crocheter, and that's not what it's about. Crocheting is not about speed. It's not worrying about how long something is going to take you to make. It's about enjoying the process and slowing down. And watching others fly through a tutorial doesn't mean that you have to as well. And I feel like I see a lot of things on both YouTube and Instagram, and obviously TikTok, of kind of speed makes. And obviously we know that they're not crocheting this fast, but you see the kind of instant gratification of it, and in reality it's just not like that. Just appreciate crochet for what it is. It's a slow process. It's a simple process once you get started, and just enjoy the quiet. I just think it's a really great contrast from what we're used to in this day and age of instant gratification, and just really appreciate the time and space that you have to crochet, and just trust the process and know that it's a long process and a slow process, but in the end it's totally worth it. And the number 5 biggest mistake is understanding you are going to make mistakes, and that's okay. If you make mistakes when you're first learning to crochet, or if you're 2 decades into crocheting, you are not a failure. What I love about crochet is that no matter how long you've been doing it, there's just always something to learn. There's a new trick that maybe somebody shares and you can pick it up. And maybe you've been crocheting for, like I said, 2 decades, and you didn't know that tip before, and now you can kind of improve your process. Part of the crocheting process, part of the learning process, is crocheting, making the stitches, making a mistake and ripping it back. And it's really in making those mistakes, ripping it back, and redoing our work that is really going to make you a better crocheter. It's going to teach you so much more about how to crochet than really what anything that I could tell you, or any other crocheter on the internet who's making advice videos. It's really in making those mistakes and correcting those mistakes that you are going to learn the absolute most from. Let's say you are crocheting on something for an entire evening. You spent 2 hours working on something, and then you notice like 4 or 5 inches back, or maybe when you first sat down, you had a mistake and you have to rip it back. Trust me, all of us have been there. I've been crocheting for over a decade, like I said, and I still do that. That happened to me the other night. I'm working on a crochet sweater, and I was so excited to get to a point where I was starting to change colors, and I crocheted for an entire evening and realized that I had a mistake like back when I first sat down to crochet. So I haven't done it yet because I was a little bit annoyed. I haven't wrapped my head around actually ripping back yet, but just know that happens to absolutely everyone. But it's especially in those early days, months, weeks, and years of learning to crochet that those times when you are crocheting, make a mistake and ripping back, you are learning so much invaluable information that is going to take you further on your crochet journey. So those were all of the tips that I wish I knew when I first learned to crochet. I really hope that they help you out. It maybe make learning a little bit less frustrating. And if you're brand new to crochet, just know that it's okay to make mistakes. Just keep going and trust the process. You will eventually get there. At one point, it's just gonna click for you, and you're going to have so much fun. So if you're still watching, thank you so much for sticking around. Be sure you subscribe subscribe so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!